Hello, welcome back to DocGirlRambles. It's Brianna here, and I'm here to talk about my actual EPPP testing day. So on the actual day of my EPPP, my exam was scheduled for 12:15 p.m. Usually I would prefer in the morning, but if I wanted something in the morning, I either had to do it early December or late January. Early December was too soon, late January, I wanted to be done by then. So I picked a Thursday at noon, and that's just what it is. So because my exam didn't start first thing in the morning, I decided that I would go to work on Wednesday, and I did. I did not study the night before. I didn't actively study the night before. I listened to the psych prep study strategies audio, but I only listened to the ones that were about test taking strategies and like managing your anxiety, which was great. I carried it with me. I did that. I did like a nice little face mask, did a little self-care zhuzhed up, and I went to bed early for me. When I woke up, I decided I was gonna get breakfast because the problem is, test starting at noon, that can be 4 hours and 15 minutes, means that you could be very hungry, and 12 o'clock is my lunchtime. So I went to a local diner, and got myself an omelet and some fruit and some toast and some coffee. I knew that if I ate it close enough to the time, like right before I left, it would at least hold me over because I didn't prepare. I didn't bring snacks. I was also nervous to take snacks to the testing center because I didn't want to like get nauseous from eating a snack, and then it was like a whole thing. So I ate breakfast. Everything was fine. I was still calm. I wasn't feeling nervous yet, which again, not feeling nervous was making me nervous, but not super nervous. Get in my car, and I'm driving down the street. Everything's fine. Man, who is like doing construction or something, is like hanging on to the railing on the sidewalk, is like talking to this guy up at the top, and his grip loosens and he starts tumbling backward right in front of my car into the street. And I slammed on my brakes. He caught himself and did not fall into the street. However, that man had fallen into the street and I couldn't stop my car in time. So I was stressed. I went from this like cool cucumber of a morning, and then all of a sudden, just like full panic. Every like feeling, every anxious feeling is just like, my heart is beating, my hands are shaking, and this guy just walks it off, and I'm like, guess I'll keep driving and go take my test. So that wasn't great. So as I'm like calming myself down for the next 10 minutes of my drive, I get to the testing center and check in, and there's like all this stuff. I had to give a palm scan to check you going in and out, and it was fine. They give you like a dry erase sheet that's like pretty big, and noise canceling headphones. They also give you they can give you like earplugs if you prefer that. But then other than that, you just sit there and you take the test. It goes over like all the instructions and the policies and stuff. In the exam, they give you the option to strike out information, which means you can strike out full responses after you've like eliminated them from your choices. There's a highlight feature, so you can highlight important information, which is great, and you can undo those things too. That is the one thing I wish PrepJet did. That was not a part of their practice exams. You weren't able to like strike out things and highlight. But I'm taking the exam, and it felt like everything was going so well. I felt like I was getting questions right. It felt almost too easy, and then probably like 70 questions in, it was like, whoop. I know I was getting some wrong at the beginning, but the ones that I felt confident about, I was like, oh yeah, I got this. But then it was like everything was hard, and I was like, what just happened? And then I started feeling like I was failing. And I had to remind myself, okay, only 175 of these are scored. The other 50 are just random experimental questions that aren't scored. But the problem is I don't know which ones are experimental and which ones are scored. And so I'm going through, halfway through, I feel like I can use the bathroom. So I'm like, gotta pee. And did that. And when I came back, I just kind of got to it. I would take breaks, but I wasn't getting up. I would kind of take some deep breaths. I would like look away from the screen, close my eyes for a little bit, go back to it. And you can see which question you're on and how many you have left. And when I had about 20 questions left, I was reading some question, and in the middle of the question, I could feel myself start to cry. I was like, what? Like, it wasn't even like a sad question. It was just like the reality of, oh, I'm almost done with this thing. So I had to stop, look away, deep breath, close my eyes, anything to get myself to calm down before I finished it. And when I did, I almost didn't press like finish because I was scared. I was so afraid. Closed it. The guy came out. I was like, all right, come on. They signed me out. And when I got out, there was a piece of paper. There's paper sitting on the counter, and the lady goes, there's your scores. Have a great day. Happy holidays. I was like, okay, thank you. I decided I didn't want to read it in the building because I knew whether I passed or didn't pass, I was going to cry. So I was like, I'm going to wait until I get in my car to deal with it. I got in my car, and I read my score. And I passed. And it was great. And I did cry. And then I called my parents. And I cried again. And my hands were shaking after I read the score. Because it was just such a relief that it was over. That I don't have to do it again. I don't have to worry about it. And then I went home, sat on the couch. I turned the TV on, wasn't really paying attention to it. I almost feel like I was just like staring at the wall. And I went and got a drink with a friend later who also didn't know I was taking the exam. We just made the plans. I knew I was taking it. She did. Now I'm done. And that's over. So that's all I got. I refuse to remember anything that I learned. It's not true. I remember some stuff. But that's all. That's my EPPP experience. I hope yours was fine or better. And if it wasn't, I hope it's over. I don't even know how to close this out. Bye.
Okay. Just finished the EPPP and took me about 3-ish hours, probably a little more than that. Don't even know what time it is. I don't know what to do with this. Okay, I felt like I was failing the whole time. So let's see if I did. I passed. I passed. I don't even know where it is. Got a 605. Passing score was 500. We did it, Joe. We did it!